Okay, hello everyone! First things first, sorry there was no video on Saturday. Still working on a new way to film reaction videos. There will be 2 this Saturday, so I'll catch up on the episodes. Second thing second, sorry this video is kinda late at night. Apparently YouTube was down for a few hours, so I didn't think I was gonna be able to upload, so yeah. Alright, now into the video. So, I am ranking the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, as you could obviously tell if you read the title. There will be some hot takes in here. You're probably not going to agree with all of my rankings. I know that a lot of my rankings don't agree with the general consensus of the public. Deal with it. I mean, it's my personal ranking on how much I like the movies. It's not an objective ranking on how good they are, because there isn't really an objective ranking, and I certainly wouldn't be qualified because I'm not a movie-making expert. Okay, that said, I ranked these using this handy-dandy app program thing that lets you, pick between 2 movies, and then it keeps having you do that until it, makes the list for you. So I'm going to link to that down below so that you can do it yourself, and then, you can comment your own personal list, or, if you already have a list that you made just by ranking them all without doing that, you can comment that, and let me know how much you disagree with all of my takes. Okay, so I'm going to start from the bottom for suspense. Number 23, The Incredible Hulk. I recently rewatched this. It wasn't as bad as I remember, but it was so boring, just boring, and yeah, not a huge fan. Turns out it is the same actress from Lord of the Rings, and I did recognize her. I didn't particularly like her in either role, gotta say. I mean, nothing against her, but yeah, okay, that's that. I didn't really like The Incredible Hulk much. Number 22, Iron Man 2. So, this one, I used to quite like it. When I first, watched it, I was like, oh, I like the bit about Tony and his dad. I still like that bit. The rest of it, not so much. It's kind of a weird movie. Not bad. I mean, there's nothing, I don't dislike any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, and The Incredible Hulk is the only one that I don't like. So, I still like the movie, but yeah, it's weird and kind of a mess. Okay, number 21, Iron Man 3. Okay, so I haven't seen this one in a long time. I'm currently on a rewatch, but I'm still in phase 1, so haven't rewatched this in a while, but I don't remember liking it very much. I actually didn't mind that whole Mandarin twist that a lot of people hate. I thought it was pretty cool, but I just haven't seen it in a while, so I don't remember liking it much, so it's still at the bottom, but yeah. Number 20, Thor the Dark World. Okay, a lot of people really don't like this one, but I love Loki. Loki is my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe character, so it gets a lot of points just for having Loki. Fun fact, Thor and Loki's, brotherly relationship is actually the thing that convinced me to watch the entire MCU, because the first one I saw is Ragnarok, and their, brotherly bond just made me watch the rest of the movies, and yeah, I just love Loki and Thor as characters and their relationship, so that was great. The rest of the stuff in this movie, not as great. Yeah. Number 19, Avengers Age of Ultron. I really like the scene at the party and the scene where they're all trying to lift Thor's hammer. And I really like that whole, exchange at the beginning about language, because I thought that was really funny. I like those things. The rest of the movie, a little boring. Also, Tony in this movie, annoying. I mean, Tony's annoying in a lot of the early movies, and he really messes up in this movie. Okay. Number 18, Doctor Strange. This movie is fine. I mean, I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, I love the show Sherlock, which Benedict Cumberbatch was on. He was good, but I just found this movie kind of boring. That's it. Number 17, Captain Marvel. Okay, my expectations for this one were really high because I was like, yay, a female superhero movie, finally. Unfortunately, it did not really meet those expectations. But it definitely gets a lot of points for Goose the Cat. I just feel like we didn't get to see Carol's, actual personality enough. The rest of the characters are interesting, but she's the one they made the movie about, and we barely even got to know who she was as a person, which I didn't particularly like, but, overall good, and like I said, love Goose the Cat. Okay, number 16, Spider-Man Far From Home. This was a sequel that I was really looking forward to. Didn't quite meet my expectations. I still really enjoyed it. I mean, I love Tom Holland, I love Zendaya, I love the whole Europe setting. It was all really fun, but it just wasn't as good as the first one. It didn't, quite meet my expectations for it. So, yeah, I mean, again, I like all these movies, so it's not like I can say anything negative about it. Okay, number 15, Ant-Man. It was a good movie. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. I love Luis, and his whole, recap thing. I like Paul Rudd. It was all really fun. Yeah, that's about it. It was a little sexist, which they fixed in the sequel, which we'll get to. Number 14, Thor. Upon rewatch, I really like this one. I mean, as I mentioned, I love Thor and Loki, but also the first time around I didn't really like Jane, and the second time around I like Jane more. She's less boring this time, and I love Darcy. Darcy's great. So yeah, overall, really like Thor. Number 13, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Less sexist than the first one. I know a lot of people don't like this one because the villain is just really bad, but I don't really care that much about the villains. Like, I don't need a good villain if the heroes and all that stuff is good, and I just thought this was a fun movie, and after Infinity War, you know, we needed a fun movie, and it also did a great job portraying, like, Ant-Man's relationship with his daughter and, like, her mother and the stepfather and everything, and I thought that was well done. So, yeah, number 12, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Okay, before you, like, yell at me, again, I like this movie, and I know a lot of people think it's perfect or the number one. It is a good action movie, but I personally am not a big action movie person. That's not, like, what I watch really movies for. I like the character development stuff, and it has that too. I'm just saying, like, a lot of good action sequences aren't enough to, like, put it at the top for me. Like, it just doesn't quite do it for me. I still really like it, but it's not in my, like, top, and it is, as you might have noticed, my least favorite of the Captain America trilogy, which I know is an unpopular take, but again, this is about my enjoyment of them. Okay, number 11, Captain America Civil War. Okay, the main reason, like, this one is as low as is because it's basically an Avengers movie, but it's called a Captain America movie. But I did really like it. I mean, you know, Bucky's great. The whole stuff between Cap and Tony was pretty good. So yeah, I liked it overall. I like how they, like, fight and stuff. They introduced some interesting new characters. It was a little bit overstuffed, I felt like, but really good. Number 10, Iron Man. This one, before I started my rewatch, this was much lower on my list, but it's a really good movie, and it holds up well. I mean, Tony is kind of a jerk. Okay, not kind of. Tony's a big jerk in this movie. And, you know, there's a little bit of pro-imperialist stuff that maybe I don't like so much, but it was overall quite a good movie. Tony, like, coming to terms with the consequences of his actions, an arc that obviously will complete in Avengers Endgame, and yeah, so it's really a good standalone movie. Number 9, Captain America, The First Avenger. Yes, this is my favorite Captain America movie. No, I'm not going to listen to your negativity. No, I really like period pieces. I just have, like, a huge soft spot for period pieces, so that's basically what does it. And I just think it's really good, like, really good introduction to the characters, and I think it's hugely underrated. But yeah, so it was really fun, good movie. Love Peggy Carter. And yeah. Okay. And number 8, Avengers Infinity War. Good movie. This was the first one that I saw in theaters, other than the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was before I'd watched the rest of the MCU, so this was the first one that, like, I saw in theaters, like, after watching the other movies. Quite liked it. I felt like it was obviously overstuffed. I mean, there were so many characters in it, and, like, some of them got a little underserved, and I wasn't a huge fan of them, like, fridging Gamora off, because she was, like, one of my favorites, so yeah, but it was a good movie. Number 7, The Avengers. I mean, obviously, the team-up movies are good for a reason, and this was the first one. Like, they really had to make it work, and they did make it work. And we get to meet, like, just a few characters, so it's not, like, as overstuffed as the later team-ups, because it's just, like, the 6 characters, mainly, and then, like, a few other people around them. And, yeah, it just works really well, and I like it. Also, Loki. Although I don't much like him being the villain. I prefer him, like, redemption arc Loki, but still. Okay, number 6, Black Panther. This one was really good. I love Shuri. She's probably my second favorite MCU character after Loki. I really love Loki. And, you know, it was overall just a good movie, like, well-paced, did something innovative by not, it, like, showed us a new character, and it was just really good overall, and, yeah. Okay, number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. A lot of people don't really like this one, but I do. I love the Guardians. The second one I felt like wasn't obviously as good as the first one, but it was still pretty good. I love Baby Groot. Baby Groot's adorable. Yeah, so that's that. Number 4, Spider-Man Homecoming. This one was really good. Like I mentioned, I love Tom Holland. I love Zendaya. This was like a good high school type movie, which I was a little bit out of high school when I watched it, but still, you know, I really liked it, and I thought it worked well, and it was just very well done. The villain was great. I felt like having Tony as a mentor figure worked pretty well for it, so yeah, I quite liked it. Number 3, Avengers Endgame. I thought this was like the perfect capper for the movies. There were a few things I didn't like, which I think I'm going to talk about in a later video. I believe I have plans for that. That like I didn't like certain choices that they made in that movie. But overall, I just thought it was really good, and I love time travel movies. Like, if period pieces are, like, my thing, like, time travel movies are even more my thing. Like, I love time travel stories. So, automatically, like, a huge plus for that. It didn't feel as overstuffed as Infinity War, because, well, half the characters have been killed off in Infinity War. So, yeah, I really liked it, and obviously, like, it had some great bookend moments. Captain America summoning Mjolnir and Tony's snap are among the best, but there was so many awesome callbacks in that movie. Yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about it more in another video. Okay, number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy. I really like this one. This is, like I mentioned, the first one that I saw in theaters. I didn't even know it was tied to the rest of the MCU. I just really liked the movie on its own. I thought it was a really fun movie with great characterization. You know, it was just great, and because I, like, had it kind of separate from the MCU, it still, like, stands apart to me. So, yeah, I really like it. Number 1, Thor Ragnarok. I love Thor Ragnarok. Like I mentioned, this is the one that convinced me to watch the entire rest of the MCU. Like, I saw that movie, had no context for anything. I had only seen the 2 Guardians movies and, like, 20 minutes of the Avengers when I was a kid, I think. And I loved it. I loved the Thor and Loki relationship. I loved, like, the comedic tone of the movie. I loved just everything about this movie. It was so amazing. And, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I really liked Thor Ragnarok, and I think it's, like, the peak of, like, the Marvel movies, and it made Thor my favorite Avenger. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and that was my ranking. Again, I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with my opinions. If you want to argue with me about them, you know, feel free to do that. Yeah, so thank you for watching my ranking of the videos, my ranking of the movies, I mean, and yeah, bye.